All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for tomorrow. And to all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel by letting me know that you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. And right after this chart analysis, all I'm asking for is for you to stay 5 more minutes to go ahead and be aware of the stocks I'm about to talk about, because we're going to talk about the home runs we hit. One of them hit 10%, another one gave us 20%, and then the best one, which was the highest home run of the day, was 30%. Now, we try to aim for this almost every single day over at the Discord, so if that's something that interests you, the link is down below. And right after that part of the video, there is a ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list that I stated over at the Patreon. Once this hits closer to $15, it's going to look interesting, and it actually broke a little bit below that. The opportunities are even bigger, so stay tuned for all that information. I'm going to share with you guys why it's so important, because overall, this is a screenshot from back in March 30th on Zomedica. Zomedica was one of the most viewed videos back in the time, and this goes to show you that if it was one of the most viewed videos, you can imagine how my other videos did and how terrible the drop off was. And it's not about the drop off, it's about what you guys are missing out on. Okay, I want you guys to be aware that the first half of every single video, okay, most of the stocks I do not even own a position in, and if I ever did, I swing traded it or I day traded it, and that's irrelevant to why I make the chart analysis. Okay, I make the chart analysis for you guys, the viewers, out of my own gratitude, even if I'm not invested in it, because I want to help investors be aware of what to look for the next day, especially learning investors, beginning investors, or anyone that got themselves caught up in a penny stock to begin with, right? These are not the stocks I would ever tell anyone to start watching or looking at unless I see a quick opportunity. If you see the second half here, you could see Pinduoduo website. That was one of the stocks I actually recommended adding to your watch list to do your research when this time frame happened. And this stock went up from 124 when I first mentioned it all the way up to 147. So if you do the math, all you had to do was buy 10 shares and you would make close to 180 to 200 plus dollars in a swing trade in just less than 5 days, in less than a week. That's all it was going to take. And everyone is just looking for the chart analysis on the stocks they care about, and I get it completely. And if you're new, you would be unaware. And if you're a frequent viewer and you've been overlooking this part, it's okay, because you're only looking for the information on the stock you care about, that you're doing research on, or that you are invested in. And I get it, but you're overlooking where the money's at, where the opportunities that I mentioned over at the Patreon that you're having a chance to know about here on the YouTube. And look at this drop off. This was the chart analysis, and this was the analysis, full thorough explanation why I believe this stock had an opportunity when I mentioned it at the Patreon, where it's at and where I saw it going, right? And this stock blew up, right? It's been pulling back since I mentioned it already. That already did its thing. It was best for a swing trade, and also a best for an entry point if you were trying to go long, right? Based off of the analysis ratings. But at the end of the day, a lot of you guys are overlooking this part. So all I ask is, after this chart analysis, 5 more minutes of your time, you're going to see the stocks that I mentioned this morning, the home runs we hit, over at the Discord. If that's something that interests you, you can join. We're almost 100 plus members already. We're on our way to it. And once we break through it, we're just going to keep on going. There's intelligent, smart investors over there learning and growing together to maximize profits and minimize losses. And we look forward to have you join us. But I want you to see the results. And I also want you to be aware of the stock to add to your watch list that is looking like a big opportunity. So let's talk about PLTR. And right after, stay tuned. Just 5 more minutes of your time is all I'm asking for, so that you don't miss out on where the money's at. That's where the real money's at. This is gratitude. I enjoy doing this. And PLTR, just to give you guys a little hint, is one of the stocks that I'm pretty big on over at the Patreon. So this is a stock that I'm willing to probably say is a little bit better than a penny stock, but it still has its risk. But so far it's been holding up above $20, and that's important. But Not every single stock I do a chart analysis on is a stock I would mention over at the Patreon, but so happens to be that PLTR is one of them, and I've mentioned it several times. So here we are with PLTR, and PLTR is in bearish territory. Why did it run from here to here? If anybody can answer that, I'm gonna leave it up to the viewers. Comment down below why it ran from here to here. If you have that answer, you're on the right track to understand why this 20% opportunity happened, and this was a great swing trade opportunity, and what's going on after, and what does this possibly mean for the stock. So I would love to see your guys' answers down below, and that goes to show how engaged you are in this company and what's your outlook. So anybody that answers, if somebody already answered, you can always share your thoughts down below. So PLTR is sitting right in the $21 mark, almost 22, 21.83. The 50-day moving average is 22.53. Okay, that needs to be broken through by the bulls to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. Anything below that is bearish, and we've been in bearish territory for some time now, since way back here on the 14th when it was at $24. The bears have been dominating. Now our support level here is 21.54. If that gets broken through, you want to watch this carefully. How quickly is it moving downwards, and are the bulls trying to reappear, or are the bears tearing it down? Now we're sitting at 21.83, and the resistance level that needs to be broken through to build some momentum is up here at 22.04. The bulls need to turn that into a support to reach newer highs, new resistance levels, and work their way up closer to the 50-day moving average. But by breaking through this, it does not signify that the bulls have gained control. They still got a lot of work to do, and they got to push upwards. They got to continue and break through 22.53, turn it into a support, and pull away from it upwards to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to not miss a single video that I post. And guys, smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. And let's stay tuned on in for all the information I have for you guys on the home runs we hit today and the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list. 5 more minutes. That's all I ask. You're missing out and leaving money on the table by dipping after these chart analysis. Stay tuned. So the ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list is one that I've talked about since last week, and I've been talking about it several times, actually for almost 2 weeks now. And I want you guys to add this to your watch list. But before we jump into it, I want you guys to be aware of what's going on in the Invest for Tomorrow community over at the Discord, over at the Patreon. And while the ticker symbols were going down, right, overall in people's watch lists and people's portfolios, and even the S&P 500, while it was down 0.64%, we're over here making 5 to 10% on these days. So while the market's going down, I'm always going to look for the opportunities for us to make money no matter what. We're here to maximize profits and minimize losses, okay? So I'm going to talk about the littlest move, and then we're going to talk about the bigger moves of the day. So this is one that I mentioned, and it was CLNE pretty early in the morning, right? And CLNE was at 13.55. So we caught this one right on a dip here, right? Around this area. That was its lowest point right there. And it ran up to a high, right? A few minutes after to an hour of 14.26. So this one gave us nearly 5 to 8%. And that's what we look for, right? In the pre-market. The rest of the day, this was terrible, right? This got destroyed. But that was what we were looking for on the news that came out. And a lot of investors that have been in it before were going to get out. And not only that, you got to think about the investor sentiment of investors that have been in this since way back here. And even before that, they said, you know what? I'm going to lock in profits or cut my losses and lose a little bit less. So that's why we've took a big hit here for the stock. Now, long term, you got to do some research to see if there's opportunity here. But what we worried about was those 5 to 10%. Now, here's our other home run of the day. So CLOV, okay? CLOV, it was actually sitting close to $9. And I stated, it was a lot better to catch this at $7 when I first talked about it. I talked about it last week. I talked about it for the weekly watch list stocks. So if that's something that you're interested and you want to know the weekly watch list that I'm always watching for long-term and swing trade opportunity, you can join us at the Patreon and you'll gain access to the Discord to know the daily watching stocks. So Clove, we went ahead and talked about Clove, And Clove was acting very, very bullish early in the morning when I first talked about it. I talked about it at the point where it was sitting close to, I'd say 9 and some change, right? And it was early in the morning and it was pulling back, right? It had kind of pulled itself up, pulling back to 930s. It ran back up to 973. So that 40-cent jump wasn't going to give us much, right? So I told everyone, you know, watch these towards the bell so that we know what's the real movement. Watch them towards the bell so we can see which volume they're getting to understand the stock's direction. So it actually ran a little bit. So if you caught it at the low here of 938, 936, it ran up, came back down. It hit a low here of 951 and took off to 986. So it gave us like 50 cents there. So that was around, I'd say 3 to 5% if you caught it around that area. And if you were able to stomach the volatility, or if you didn't catch in before and you let it drop a little bit and you caught it at 918, this ran up to 1050, okay? Just to round it down in just a matter of minutes. This right here was a total jump of 10+%, almost 15%. But let's talk about the home run of the day, okay? And I talked about AMBO. It's another stock picking up volume, and it got a lot of news with Amazon partnership. And I was talking about how these penny stocks were bumping today because not only was AMBO running because of Amazon, but also CLNE had jumped because of that. Now, it's currently sitting at 246, needs more volume. And as I was typing, it was slightly passing the 1 million in volume, which is what we like to look for. And that doesn't always guarantee anything, but it was a start, right? That was getting us to understand what's up. So we caught this one at 236, okay? So this dipped after a run, it dipped and it pulled back, right? Right here to lows of 242. So we caught this way back here, okay? Back at this moment. So we caught it at the best dip and we rode it, and right there in just a matter of minutes, it gave us more than enough, like in the pre-market. I'm not even kidding. Right there from that point forward, there was a big opportunity, and it pulled back into the opening of the market close to 237, and it took off to 289, right? That's all we look for, 10 to 20%. This stock gave us more than 10% on that jump, and at the high of the day, it gave us beyond our expectations, okay? Way past 20%. And here are some results of one of the investors, and this is where we post our profits, and I'm going to zoom these in just a moment. And this was the day trades of AMBO, thanks to Invest for Tomorrow. So to that investor, thank you for pointing that out, giving credit where it's due. But I'm going to give credit to you because you hit a home run today, and that is what we're looking for. That's what I want everyone to do with these positions. So this person went ahead and bought at $3,300 and sold at $3,600. $300 right there. Bought back in at $3,500 and sold at $4,000. So that right there was a total amount just between those two of almost $800, okay? And then we have another one here that gave another $300. This was $1,000 in one day in a matter of an hour or two at $1,200 and sold at $1,500. Now, am I guaranteeing these results every single time? No. But what we look for is 10 to 20% to maximize profits, minimize losses. And if this is something that interests you, you can join us over at the Patreon and the Discord. The links are down below, and we look forward to have you join us. The slots are filling up quickly, guys. I do want you guys to be aware of that. We're on our way to 100 members, and I look forward to you guys joining us. And I have a series to equip you guys and prepare you guys to become better traders at maximizing profits, minimizing losses. And we're out here making money while the market is red. So what's the stock I want you guys to add to your watch list? So this stock has been beaten down really hard, okay? When I first talked about it, I stated that this could fall closer to $15. And if it did, it was going to present itself as an opportunity, okay? I went ahead and talked about that almost a week ago. I mentioned it again. And for the last 2-3 weeks, I've talked about this one. And this is way below where I mentioned. And Kathy Wood loads up on this one. There's a lot of institutional ownership going up. And this stock will be one of those that's set to explode in the long term. So SKLZ, I definitely recommend doing your research, doing your due diligence, and when you're playing this one, you got to know you're investing in the future, right? This is a new technology that's going to roll out to be more enhanced. So it's basically bringing the past to the present and turning it into the future, because there's going to be like betting on there and stuff, playing games that we know since our Nokia phones and since way back when we used to not even have touchscreen phones, like regular phones, playing bowling, solitaire, things that you would play on the computer. And they're looking to expand. So this is a stock to do your research and understand as much as you can at these levels, because the opportunities are endless. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get your returns right away, but this could possibly be a swing trade for the next several months, or it could be a long-term play for the next year or two as this company grows. I mean, the company does have to grow. They have some work to do. But like I said, you're investing in the future when you invest in skills, SKLZ. This is definitely a stock you want to add to your watch list. If you want to see the full weekly watch list that I just posted this weekend, join us. The links are down below. I look forward to have you guys join us. We have an incredible group of smart and intelligent investors over at the Patreon and Discord, and you are able to become part of that as well. We look forward to have you join us. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.